very good morning, Dirtfish friends. It's the final day of Rally Estonia. Have a look at this. Isn't it just beautiful? We're in the middle of the Estonian countryside. Hard to believe we're only a couple of k's away from the biggest thing that's going to happen in this part of the world this very fine Sunday. It's incredible. There are literally tens of thousands of spectators waiting for these guys to take to the stages just over behind the trees there. But it's quite calm, it's quite relaxed just now. But here's the big news. It's also a little bit cooler, quite a bit damper, wet even, you might argue, out in the stages. We haven't seen that so far. We've had the odd shower, but it's been relatively dry through the stages. Oit Tanak was first on the road yesterday, had to deal with very, very loose, dry, gravelly conditions. This morning, again first on the road for the 4 stages. It's at 61 kilometres, the 30 and a little bit kilometres in the loop. He'll have been relatively happy to see this rain coming down. It should make his job a little bit easier out there this morning. You know what? It may give him a chance of potentially winning the odd stage as well, because what happens if we get a lot of rain? It progressively gets muddier, slipperier, more challenging, more difficult. So, first on the road could be the place to be at this morning. Martin just checking things over, as he always does. Oit heading down the road to do his exercises to get himself in place. We'll see if we can grab a quick word with him before he heads into the stage. Second on the road, Takamoto Katsuta with the, what colour do we call that? A claret colour? Red Bull? Burgundy. It's burgundy, yeah. Burgundy almost matches the suit, but still cleaning the windscreens. Absolutely. These cars would have been, the windscreens, completely cleaned by the teams in service last night, but 60 kilometres or so, I think the road section was down here. So you don't take any chances. You keep it nice and clean. What are you having a look at there, Elliot? You're just having a little look at the windscreen wipers, because they'll be important. Good morning, Takasan. A different morning today, this weather. Second on the road, it could help you a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah, for sure, some dampness or some wet condition will help a bit, but still some loose on top of the surface, so this might affect a bit.
Yeah, we'll leave you to it. Good luck today, Takasan. Yeah, a little bit of loose still on the surface, and you can see that. You can see that if we look down here. This isn't the stage. We're still 2 k's or so from the stage. But, you come off the line onto this, and it becomes, even when it's damp, really very, very slippery indeed. You have to be completely precise. Let's just see if, is Oit watching something there? He could well be. Oit, we're just wondering about, can we grab a very quick word about the conditions this morning? What are you hearing about the overnight rain? Has it been quite heavy in the stages? It's coming down reasonably heavily now.
Just like here.
In the stages, so damp. Is that going to help you much out there this morning, do you think?
Yeah, the life should be easier than yesterday.
Well, very best of luck out there, right? We'll leave you to it. Can he win? Remember, he won, how many stages was it? 4 out of 6, I think it was, something like that, in the opening. 6 out of 8. It was 6 out of 8, wasn't it, that Oit won at the start of the rally? So can he add to that total? I think he potentially could, but as Takasan said, even although the rain's come down, it is a lot damper than it was. It's still quite loose on that surface. So now these guys have a real routine. Look, we won't disturb them, but they spend a bit of time. There's a little mini iPad there that's got the recce videos on it that Pierre-Louis goes through, and Nico will read through the notes as well. It's just that last 5 or 10 minutes before the stage goes live, just to go through a couple maybe of the more tricky sections. I doubt whether they would go through the whole stage. They might do. Who knows? They might go through the whole stage. But they go through it. It is interesting when you see the different routines that the drivers have. Pierre-Louis just checking the notes with the onboards, with the little mini iPad. And what we know about Takasan and Aaron, Takasan's got his little page at the start of each stage that he reads through with just maybe the areas he's got to be aware of, and then he has another look just before they go into the stage at the actual first page or 2 of the notes, just to give himself, just to sharpen himself up and just make sure he's absolutely on top of what he's going to expect in those first few stages. Look at this, it's absolutely beautiful around here, it really is. Oit Tanak just having a little wander up and down the line, just having a little look at the other cars. This is interesting. Have a look, new tyres, maybe some Worn tyres? I'm not sure. Certainly new tyres on the front there. They shouldn't have to be on older tyres. Yeah, the rain. This is the big question. What are we going to see in the way of rain? We're talking about it coming down here. Elliot mentioned it. Power stage last year. Calle Rovanperä in the most treacherous of conditions. It was last year, wasn't it? Just the most remarkable drive. We know that when others see rain, they see mud, they see hazards, they see jeopardy. What does Rovanperä see? He sees opportunity. Now, he's in a position where he doesn't have to push too hard through the power stage this time. He's got this wonderful 35 seconds almost of a lead out there. He doesn't have to take any risks. He doesn't have to push hard. But for sure, he wants the full house here. He wants the 30 points. So, who'd bet against him? I wouldn't bet against him. I really wouldn't. Timo Suninen, what a rally he's having. What a rally. Potentially my driver. Timo, I have to say, my driver of the rally, it's very difficult. And under normal circumstances, you would be my driver of the rally. But I think Rovanperä is driving better than I've ever seen him. So I'm going to have to think about that one. But you're almost there. Final day, Timo, 60 kilometres. I guess it's more of the same today. You won't be changing an awful lot about your approach.
Not really. Still, I try to take small steps forward and try to improve my driving. Yesterday, I started to feel a bit more familiar with the car, so that was good thing. And I try to continue the process.
What is it you're looking for? What are you looking to find? Is there any area that you think, I need to try and find something there?
A bit of driving technique and usage of the hybrid system is still a relatively new thing for me. So there is still easy tenths of the seconds still to gain.
It's been a great event so far. Keep it together. Consistency is what it's all about for Timo Suninen, and he has been consistently neat, tidy and quick through the weekend. Mikko Markula again doing what they have to do, checking things out. Who is that? Elvin Evans and Scott Martin, radiator blanks on the front of their car. Sorry, I thought this was you, Elliot. I was getting confused as to where you were. You're both wearing puffer jackets. Easy mistake to make. He might be 25 years, 30 years older than you, and he's not wearing a silly hat. But other than that, hang on. What do we make, folks, of Elliot's hat? Am I being a bit unfair calling it a silly hat? It's practical, isn't it? Oh, he didn't like that. He's not a happy cameraman now. Right, let's wander back down, give them a chance. Look at this. So, as they come out of service, the blanks are completely... Have a look at this, Elliot. Elliot, come this way. The blanks. Sometimes we see half blanks, 3/4 blanks, 1/4 blank, right across the radiator, just generating a little bit of heat in there. It would be interesting at some point to talk to maybe Tom Fowler about that, because you'd have thought it's a road section, it's 65 k's. How important is it, and how sensitive is that engine to losing heat? How difficult is it to build the heat into the engine? I don't know. That's a question I will ask at some point. Clearly somewhere like Sweden, where we get extremes, down to -30, -35, I completely understand why they put the blanks on to keep the heat in the engine, but there's an ambient temperature here around about 16, 17 degrees. It certainly isn't cold, but clearly there's a benefit to doing that. Now, who have we got turning up now? Esa-Pekka Lappi, great job from him. And obviously Thierry Neuville doing a great job. Good morning, Elvin, are you well? Yeah, good. Good to see him. We'll let Elvin wander off and do his thing. The boys from Toyota, their media crew, they make some lovely videos. Have a look on their channel. Lovely. It's art, isn't it? It's all art. Now Scotty Martin just sending a little text, keeping in touch with... Well, look at those thumbs. Those thumbs are like lightning. Look, is that smoke coming off of that screen? They're moving so rapidly. Yeah, he's cooling it down. What a boy he is. Dear. Scotty, quick word about this weather. What are you hearing about the weather overnight? Was the rain... Tried to get it out of Oit. Oit was a little bit conservative with his information to us. What have you heard about the weather overnight and the stage conditions?
I didn't really hear too much, to be honest, but just from the pictures that we see from the weather crew, it's obviously rained quite a bit, and also from the road section down here. So, and as you can feel, it's
bit of dampness in the air already.
Does that worry you a little bit in that it is going to get muddy, and knowing where those muddy, slippery sections might appear?
Yeah, obviously this is a fresh stage, so we'll have some, things to watch out for. Certainly where you cut and go into the grass, it's going to be slippy, and it'll get worse probably as every car goes past. And then the power stage, obviously we know a bit more about that and where to expect it because we had huge rain last year. So yeah, this is a new stage. I mean, most of the rally up to now we've known it and have the notes for it, so it's going to be like a bit of a wake-up call this morning, I think.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. I mean, thank you very much, Scott. Best of luck today. Yeah, a new stage. So as Scott said, all the other stages, more or less, of the rally they've seen before. This one, new and challenging, and with that little bit of rain around. Are we going to see anything in the opener? Certainly not one to be taken for granted, that's for sure. Esa-Pekka Lappi. Strong day from him yesterday again. Really strong day. He had that hybrid system working. That certainly aided him. Wasn't quite able to find maybe the pace he wanted. Felt there was a little bit more pace out there yesterday for Esa-Pekka Lappi. A job to do today, his job very much. Look, we're looking at the Manufacturers' Championship. That's still very much alive. So the most important thing is that Esa-Pekka Lappi stays in front of Elfyn Evans today. And you know what? 7 seconds. You need to be focused. You need to keep it. Oh, hello. What's going on here? Not unusual to see tyres being swapped around. I think it was Esa-Pekka that told us in Croatia about how they warm the rear tyres on the front of the car coming down to the stage. Sometimes they'll swap them over and then warm the fronts as they go into the stage. Difficult to get heat into the rear tyres, but I don't think that's what's going on here. It's not what's going on. Oh, they're bleeding the brakes. Yeah, they're bleeding the brakes here. Obviously, they've felt something on the road section. Cars have had a service. They had the service last night. They've come down this 60 plus Ks. And there we go. That's brake fluid in there. Has he got a problem? Okay. He's depressing the foot brake, he's pulling the handbrake, and there's a wasp in the car. That's never good. That wasp has now left the building. Now, have a look here. That's the reservoir. That's brake fluid. So they were bleeding the brakes at the rear, from the rear right. A little bit more fluid going into the reservoir there. Okay, so it continues. There's no panic. There's no real drama here. The guys have got time. They're working their way through it. What's probably happened here is that they've changed brakes in service. They've had a look at the braking system, and they've not perhaps been properly bled in service. That may have been a time issue, may have been an oversight, may have been something getting in air into the system. Who knows what that might have been? But it's a well-practiced routine. They know exactly what they've got to do, and as I say, there's no drama. Thierry's quite calm. They're just methodically working their way through what they have to do here. So. Yeah, I don't think it's any dramas at all, and they do still have, probably another 6 or 7 minutes before they have to head into the stage. So, fingers crossed, everything's okay. A very quick word with Esa-Pekka. Let's see what he's watching things. He's watching all live. Let's have a look. Who have we got into the stage? Takasan heading into the stage. Really important on mornings like this. It's a new stage. It's wet. Really important that these boys take as much information as they can. So on a stage that they know, they will still watch all live if they get the chance. But on a stage like this, brand new, it's wet. You want to know where maybe there's water on the stage, maybe where there's mud on the stage, maybe where there's a corner that's catching people out. So important that they obviously watch as much as they can. Let's have a little look. It's raining in the stage. We can see that on Takasan's onboards. Wow, it does look very damp indeed. My goodness me. We'll leave Esa-Pekka. He's got a job to do today. We'll leave him to it. So there we go, the rain jacket's coming off. That means that perhaps, it's going back on again. Off, it's on. I think the work is more or less done though, in terms of the braking. We'll see if we can grab a very quick word with Thierry. As I say, it all seemed very, very calm. Thierry, everything okay? Obviously something not quite to your liking with the brakes.
Yeah, we just bleed a little bit the rear brakes. The pedal was a bit soft.
No problems with time, it's all done, you're quite calm, ready to go?
Ready to go.
Best of luck, there we go. Yeah, as I say, it's not usual. They wouldn't normally want to have to do that before the start of a stage, but there is time, they know what they've got to do. It was all very, very calm, well practiced, all done. Now, again, really important, Andreas, we're just saying how important it is with a new stage like this one and this weather, how important it is for you to watch the all live, to get a feel for the stage.
Yeah, that's a very nice thing for us drivers that we use quite often. Like, this is a new stage. In this stage, it's a lot of crest, which is really difficult to say on the recce if the car will lift or not. And you have to plan your line a little bit. And for sure, if the car lifts, you have to approach it a bit differently than when the car doesn't lift. So it's good for us to see it, because then we know how to approach some certain corners.
I'll let you get back to it. Best of luck. It's been a great rally so far for Andreas and Torstein Eriksson. Gus Greensmith, I was going to say he's watching as well, but he's not. He's texting, probably to the team, or who knows. It's very early in the UK to be texting anyone in the UK. Gus, different weather from the weather we've seen so far this weekend. What are you hearing about the conditions in the stage?
Light rain, looks pretty damp at the moment, and then our forecast is that we shouldn't have too much more rain until the power stage, but then the power stage could be something similar to last year, so
as bad as that?
Potentially, but like it is with here, it can change very quickly, so we'll have to see.
Obviously you had a little bit of a heavy landing yesterday, and you had a bit of a twinge in the back. Everything feeling okay this morning?
I'm pretty stiff, but not so bad. Just it's only 4 stages, not that long, not so many big jumps, so I'm sure I'll be fine.
What did you obviously, physiotherapy, a bit of a massage, a few painkillers, is that? Oops, hello. Go away, Mr. Wasp, go away. A few painkillers, is that how you deal with it?
Yeah, just a few painkillers, crack on. Tough old northern lad, so no complaining.
He is a tough northern lad. Best of luck out there today. So there we are, folks. It is the final day of Rally Estonia. 4 stages, 61 kilometres in total. We are very much still watching that battle for second place. The man, though, sitting there right now is that man on the left, as you're looking at it, Thierry Neuville, ahead of his teammate Esa-Pekka Lappi. They will have to watch out for Elfyn Evans, but Elfyn has quite a job to do to put pressure on the 2 Hyundai drivers. What might we see if, as Gus has said, that torrential rain comes down for the power stage? Well, Dirtfish Live Centre, folks, come along with us for the ride. We will be there at the stage ends, the stage starts. We'll try to bring you the atmosphere. Most importantly, we will bring you all the news and information as it breaks on the final day here at Rally Estonia.